This first clip starts with my viewer letting the cyclist out from the road on the right. He's thankful, no problems, but he takes a primary position in the middle of the lane. And my first thought when I first saw this clip is, perhaps he's turning right. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt, as my viewer does, gives him plenty of space and keeps back. All good. As we approach the traffic lights, which have just changed, the cyclist isn't turning right here. So why is he in this primary position? The cycle area is really wide and it's in very good condition. There's even some nice markings going through the junction on the left hand side for the continuation of this cycle lane. For me, this aids cyclist safety as they ride through the junction, but he's deciding not to use it. He must be turning right. There's no reason to hold all the traffic up. But this guy hasn't got one thought of that. There are times to command your position and there are times not to, and this cyclist got this the wrong way round. This is poor selfish road use. This next clip, we're going to watch it and then we're going to go through it after. What's your opinion on this?
What's that festival called in Spain? Whoa! It's not a fucking give way! Get it? That isn't a give way, mate. It is. It's not. No. Always give way to your right. That's not a give way, mate.
My first impression was my viewer was in the wrong. It's a left filter and you should always give way to vehicles on the main carriageway. So for me, I'd be slowing down for the silver one. However, if we look at Google Maps, what I'd like to point out are the two left-hand curbs. This one here and the one over the far side. They don't run straight to each other, which says to me the road was designed to be two separate lanes. But if we move forward a little touch and have a look at this area, there are no distinct road markings to say that's the case. So where there's no markings, no one can take priority. Well, you shouldn't do anyway, and that's the biggest part of the problem with this clip. Both drivers were really stubborn, assuming that they had priority rather than always being ready to give way. Remember, priority is given, not taken, and try and share the roads.
Whoa! It's not a fucking give way! Get it? That isn't a give way, mate. It is. It's not. No. Always give way to your right. That's not a give way, mate.
And as normal with these scenarios, they sit there arguing about who's right, when in fact, they're both wrong. I reckon when people see this clip for the first time, a lot of you will be thinking, well, there's not much that could have been done. We've got a traffic calming area because there's a cattle grid. My viewer seems to do a good job, but then that motorbike comes through that inopportune moment. No big deal, no massive danger, but let's have a look at this one. Although my viewer is a good driver, there are certain things that he could have done a little differently to reduce risk. And this technique that I'll explain can be applied to many different scenarios, not just this one. Firstly, he's done a good job by holding back enough to allow the other vehicle coming the other way to take its priority and continue. But I would have slowed even more, because really with the left-hand bend up ahead, I need to get a better view of what's coming the opposite way. My plan here would be to have the oncoming car already past me. I'd then like to take a position over the centre line to increase my view of what's happening ahead. I would still then have enough time to come back in and give way. Even here, I'd be heading more to the right to be seen and to see. My viewer did reduce the risk nicely for the motorbike though, but the motorbike wasn't innocent. They were coming in way too quick to deal with that situation comfortably. Remember, slower in, faster out. Where's the problem going to come from in this clip? Well, as normal, it's going to be some motorists piling into a situation too quickly to be able to deal with. And just for a change, I'm going to point things out before it happens. What we're looking at first of all is this white car to the left hand side. because it actually in a moment tries to slow down and let the black one out, which is up there on the left in the distance. The white car is already braking, but I'd like you to also keep an eye on this van to the left and what a good job it does of saving itself. This clip shows the dangers of letting people out unnecessarily. It also shows the importance of checking your mirrors before you slow down, i.e. the white van that escaped on the left. And it also shows how poor that lorry driver was. He was travelling way too close at too high a speed and then tries to reprimand by blaring his horn. Honestly, you've got to take much more responsibility driving that. Not the best weather conditions. Your tyres on your vehicle can only displace a set maximum amount of water. So when you have a situation like this where there's effectively a river running across your road, you're set for a tricky situation. Going too fast doesn't help. The slower you are, the less chance of aquaplaning. Definitely a squeaky bum moment, but for me situations like this are really difficult because they're often hard to spot, and the rain and wet weather doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go slower. I hope that you've picked up something from that analysis comp. If you could let me know what you've picked up in the comments, that would be a big help, and it would also be a massive help if you could click that subscribe and like button. Keep safe, I hope to see you soon.